Okay, is it true? Can plants really boost your mental health? Absolutely. Not just me saying this, the experts, the studies are there. And let me tell you what, the more I dug into this, the more I was blown away about how much information there is out there about how plants really do boost your mental health. And here at Rx Healthy Habits, we always try to bring you content that helps your health overall in all aspects. I mean, we talk about getting to normal weight, maintaining your normal weight, but also how to get into fitness so you get in some physical activity. We bring you recipes, food ideas, but also we talk about mental health and healthy mindset and trying to make sure you take care of that, because that's a huge part of it. Real quick, going to go through 4 things that we think that the studies are showing that plants can do. There's a lot more. I just want to take time to do 4. I don't want to make this video too long or this podcast too long, because I don't like really long content. So number 1, how do plants help boost your mental health? Number 1, they're oxygen boosters and air purifiers. Now think about this. Plants take in carbon dioxide. What do they put out? They put out oxygen. And of course, they're looking at some of the things for our long term for our Earth is to find ways to get more of that taking place, carbon monoxide being converted. But think about that, though. Plants are they're kind of like working inside your house. And how much and how significant, I'm not sure. But I got a feeling the more plants, the better, within reason. But the more plants, the better to help with that. And that's going to help increase cognitive function. When oxygen goes up, usually it can increase cognitive function. How much? I don't know. I know when I'm in a very dank, musty hotel room that's dark, but also has it's just so stagnant that you feel, I don't know, you don't feel as well. Number 2, stress and relaxation. The studies are very clear that if you have plants in your presence, in your house, it's going to reduce stress. Now, how do they do this? We think that they have a way of reminding you of nature. And I don't know about you, when I'm working all week and I get a chance to get outdoors and reconnect, de-stress, it really seems to put me all together. And there's something about nature and being in it that creates that. And I think if you can duplicate a fraction of that in your house, it's going to have a huge impact. The studies have shown that it does. So relaxation, also the act of caring for the plants is kind of soothing. It kind of gets you doing something, takes your mind off whatever's going on, and you're taking care of something else. You're seeing something thrive, you're seeing something grow, you're part of it. It's relaxing. Huge. Mood enhancers. Again, if you can take a slice of the outdoors and bring it in, it enhances you. I know this. If I walk in a greenhouse sometimes, I'm totally blown away. And it really does boost. I walk out of there kind of pumped up. I don't know what it is about being about that many living things in one room, but they really do enhance and boost my happiness. Behind me, you can see my wife like orchids. She loves these, and they do, just by looking at them, they're gorgeous. They do elevate you. If you're down a little bit and you see a beautiful thing, it inspires you. I don't know how to talk about it any other way except that. Now here's the next thing. It improves your cognitive function. And they found, especially in some of the studies at the workplace, this is very important, and it really can help. And it also not only improving the cognitive function, because people are taking their mind off what they're doing. Maybe they're looking at their plants instead of thinking about the problem. Especially flowers, but anything they're looking at that's nature, maybe takes their mind off what they're doing. But also, it increases their productivity, because if they're not stressed out, if they don't have that angst, they're going to get more done. And believe it or not, the studies are pretty clear that increased productivity and absenteeism at work is enhanced. Reduce absenteeism, increase productivity from plants. So a lot of places of business are doing that now. They're having actually more indoor plants in the office. The studies, again, they're on my blog. You can read about them. They're pretty conclusive, and there's a lot of them out there. I just cited 2 that you can find out. And I went through a little bit and talked about some of the bullet points on that. And again, that's all there. We just covered those pretty well. But I want to end up with this. What are some? You've heard this before, Joe. I love to have a lot of plants, but I kill plants. I can't take care of them. I'm terrible at it. Well, there's really just 5 simple tips, and if you can kind of think about the benefits versus the disadvantages of having plants, I think if you're convinced, like I am, that they're beneficial, then it does take some work, but the work's simple. Number 1 tip to keep indoor plants is you gotta have good lighting. And this is probably one of the reasons why I think plants help elevate people. Because they have to have the windows open and the light in. And if you have the windows closed and the blinds drawn, I think that affects your mood a little bit. That's me personally. When I'm home, I like the blinds open, and I live where the sun shines 360 days a year, okay? So I love it, but I think that is a big factor. But proper lighting, if you got some places in the corner, my wife's got lights that she has turned on for certain plants so that they can get the right light to have them really thrive. That's up to you. She chose plants that needed a little bit of extra love when it came to light, but that's what she wanted. Now, number 2 about taking care of plants, she is very good about a routine of watering. And when she goes away on vacation, I have strict orders. You have to water on these days. We live in the southwest United States in Nevada. It is dry. She's got a routine that she follows. When she's not there, guess what? I better step up, because if those plants don't get their water and they die, then I'm not sure about me. She watches a lot of those criminal investigation shows, so I'm not sure what that means. Anyway, her water routine is great. You got to have one. It's not that big of a deal. Put it in your calendar. Set an alarm, whatever. Appropriate humidity. Now, in some climates, like ours, it's kind of tough if you have plants that want a lot of humidity. There's ways to do it, and you can read about it and watch it on YouTube, but there's ways to get some humidity by putting out trays of water and things to put some moisture in there. That's absolutely possible. Here's the biggest mistake, I think. Besides not enough light, a lot of people, they don't water them enough, but also they overwater them. So number 4 is proper drainage. You've got to have proper drainage for your plants. If you don't, they're probably not going to make it because they're going to get water soaked. I mean, I don't know what to say. You just flood them out. Plants cannot take unlimited amounts of water, some of them, most of them. So you got to make sure you got proper drainage. And if you're having plants that are dying and you're watering them enough, then maybe you got to look at your drainage. And there's a lot of places out there, if you go to these garden shops, they'll tell you what to get as far as vases and then the saucers underneath to collect the water. So last thing, now my wife goes on with little snippers all the time, and she's snipping her bonsai tree, and she's snipping the branches here and there off her plants, taking out dead leaves. There's a little bit of maintenance you want to do, and she's really good at that. So she goes through and takes care of all of the plants, a little bit of maintenance, like maybe once a month. But she's got a routine, and I tell you what, you can see behind me, there's some of them. There's a whole bunch behind me that we have, but throughout our house and outdoors, where we can, there's plants. And she loves it, I love it, and I can't imagine life without it. So until next video podcast, I recommend you look into it if you haven't already done so. If you don't think it's going to work, then try it for a while, and then just stop watering them if you want. If you don't want them anymore, or give them away. But they do make a big difference. And again, as always, go to our website, RxHealthyHabits.com. We got blogs, we got videos. I recommend you get our email. Email once a week comes out, and there's a blog in there, and there's a video in there from the week that's featured like this one. There'll be some YouTube shorts, and it's all 1-minute read, and if you want to click on anything, you just click on it, but it comes out once a week. How do you do it? Go to RxHealthyHabits.com, and the bottom is a contact page. Put in your information, put in there, I want on your email list, or send me an email directly, RxHealthyHabits@gmail.com, and say, hey, I want into your email list, your weekly email. Just get one a week. That's all you get. We don't want to overdo it. And also, if you hate it, and it's boring, just unsubscribe. So I hope that helps. Get some more plants in your life. Get to a point where you can start to appreciate the outdoors indoors, right?